Those of you that seen the entire story multiple times before numerous, how would you manage it? I mean, you realize, I know reality got in your blend. I know reality, yet the matter is the part that is pernicious in here is my significant other. And kids must be medicated into this. Have you known about the most recent show Marjorie at last defied Steve about his absence of reliability, which was a standoff for the age as we as a whole realize? This isn't whenever Steve first has been blamed for swindling in a relationship and Marjorie, burned out and being bamboozled, settled to assume control over issues. Will this conflict at long last show him a thing or two about dedication? Or is it simply one more section in the ceaseless adventure of Steve's treachery? The truth will surface eventually, yet one thing's sure, Marjorie isn't one to be underestimated. Steve has additionally recently examined his terrible choices in life, saying in the event that I could get back the cash I lost in terrible ventures, I could stop working right now. I could stop. I've pursued such countless terrible choices. Steve then, at that point, added the greatest speculation I've made was my interest in individuals. That has been my most noteworthy venture. That return has been the best thing I've at any point seen. Those of you that seen the entire story, you realize this is out and out a minor supernatural occurrence. That I'm remaining here getting a star on this walk. Like this, it would seem, prior to sealing the deal with his momentum spouse Marjorie Harvey. In 2007, he had been hitched, not once yet, two times before. First, there was Marcia Harvey, whom he was hitched to for an incredible 14 years anyway. Marcia liked to stay under the radar. After their separation, yet bits of gossip flowed that he had betrayed her during their marriage. Yet that is not all. Then there was Mary Lee Harvey, who totally reversed the situation on him. She did everything possible to uncover his supposed disloyalty, making a tempest of shameful disclosures, Mary, not set in stone, to ensure the world knew reality. With regards to their rough relationship with each separation, it seemed like his standing for dependability endured a greater shock. It's no big surprise individuals are presently scrutinizing his obligation to his ebb and flow marriage with his muddled past brimming with unfaithfulness. Many keep thinking about whether Marjorie will be the one to at last break the cycle. We should go on an outing back previously and return to his union with Marcia Harvey, which resulted in an enduring mark in his vocation. Rumors from far and wide suggest that he picked his profession over Marcia and their youngsters, and that choice didn't agree with her. The two at first ran into each other when Marcia was working at Saks Fifth Road, and they met at a shared companions gathering party. Later, they secured the bunch in 1980, in the end inviting twin young ladies named Carly and Liquor. Yet life wasn't going great for the couple. Steve was all the while attempting to find his balance in media outlets and filled in as a protection sales rep anyway. After a sample of progress in stand-up parody and winning a small $50 award, he pursued the strong choice to leave his place of employment and seek after a daily existence in satire. This vocation shift stressed Marcia and Steve's relationship, and their marriage in the end reached a conclusion in 1994. Obviously, the quest for distinction and achievement assumed a huge part in their conjugal burdens. Yet the show simply continues to get juicier. It appears to be that Steve's supposed disloyalty exceeds all logical limitations. After his separation from Marcia, he burned through no time and purportedly started seeing his second spouse, Mary Shackelford, even before his separation was finished. Discussion about a chaotic circle of drama. At first everything appeared to be agreeable, yet their once completely flawless marriage immediately disintegrated, leaving Mary with an unpleasant desire for her mouth. She let it all out and freely blamed Steve for going behind her back with. In all honesty, Marjorie yet stand by. There's more. When I ponder how rapidly he pushed ahead from me to Marjorie, that was upsetting. Mary even had instant messages to back up her dangerous cases. The embarrassment sent shockwaves through the tattle factory, leaving everybody pondering exactly how profound the snare of treachery genuinely goes now. With Marjorie close by the copying question, remains could she at any point be the one to at last break the pattern of selling out that has tormented Steve's previous connections. Some could contend that karma is finding Marjorie, yet the fact of the matter is the dramatization runs considerably more profound. Not exclusively was Steve supposedly untrustworthy to Mary Lee, yet it seems he likewise investigated every possibility when it came to removing everything from her reports. Recommend that he stripped her of her extravagant way of life and the delightful house they once shared and incredibly even controlled their child Winton, and that the appointed authority was saying that colder time of year should have been on a trip to his dad, and I was super paralyzed when you realize that the law is being betrayed you. The subtleties of this tragic disclosure are really stunning. Steve's supposed treachery didn't appear to stop at unfaithfulness. He took extraordinary measures to guarantee that Mary Lee was left with nothing following the charges of unfaithfulness control. And the deficiency of their child, Mary Lee, likewise blames Steve for physical and mental maltreatment. These serious allegations sent shockwaves through the Tattle plant, leaving everybody pondering exactly the way in which profound the dimness goes in Steve's past connections. Accordingly, Steve made a legitimate move against Mary, unhesitatingly denying her cases and excusing them as unmerited and silly endeavors to destroy his standing. Steve then reconnected with Marjorie in 2007, not long after separating from Mary Lee. In spite of their wrecked pasts, they wedded not long after multiple times. I mean, you realize I know reality, yet the matter is the part that is harmful in here is my better half and kids. Must be drugs into this. You know whether you will be malicious, then feel free to point it at me, yet my child is coming in the room crying and that is additionally private. So why you would do this and I don't for even a moment comprehend the reason for it. I mean, I got you frantic, yet you quite a while back. That is the thing we're doing now. The comic and entertainer commended his better 50% of almost 9 years for assisting him with turning his dress sense around while addressing visitors on his day-to-day syndicated program. He said, Marjorie changed my style. I was altogether different. I dressed diversely. Before I wedded Marjorie Harvey, well, Marjorie could have changed Steve's style, yet what might be said about his default nature to swindle hypotheses are twirling that Steve Harvey has purportedly been going behind Marjorie's back with. In all honesty, the renowned VIP Kris Jenner, as per a report from Radar Online sources, guarantee that Marjorie has found out about these supposed undertakings and has cautioned Steve to avoid Kris, the alleged trap among Steve. And Kris has gotten people talking and energized the tattle sections with shameful stories. It's basically impossible that Marjorie planned to tolerate Steve staying nearby an apex predator like Kris, particularly since he's demonstrated consistently he can't be believed. The source asserted insiders are presently uncovering that Steve's supposed comfort with Kris Jenner during shut entryway conferences, steady calls, and constant instant messages has pushed Marjorie to her limit. The two have apparently been agreeable for a really long time, expanding their relationship past expert limits. Proof of their associations surfaced during Paris Design Week in 2015, where they were envisioned together, causing a commotion and powering hypothesis. Not halting there, they have been spotted making the rounds in Hollywood on numerous events, further adding to the theory encompassing their relationship. Kris even showed up on Steve's syndicated program, probably to support evaluations and fuel the tattle discharge. Yet maybe the most telling indication of their association is Kris carrying her popular youngsters to contend on Family Fight, a move that appeared to solidify their relationship in the public eye, regardless of their evident closeness. A television insider has approached to demand that Kris Jenner cares very little about Steve sincerely. Rather, it appears to be that Kris is playing a shrewd game, leading Steve on with the expectation of accessing his television smarts. As per sources, Kris sees a chance to maneuver Steve towards sharing his industry skill all with an end goal to give her own hanging realm a truly necessary lift. While staying aware of the Kardashians might have been a beast hit, it was truly made by Ryan Seacrest. Now Kris is purportedly frantic for direction to develop her own showbiz image, and accepts Steve's recommendation could be the brilliant ticket. She really wants the snare of control and desire, keeps on developing, leaving everybody considering what Kris' actual aims are and exactly how far she will go to get her falling realm. Kris has attempted to create an extensive rundown of shows, yet they've all been fiascos. The source additionally added, in the meantime, Steve has the brilliant touch with regards to television that is the reason Kris is seeking him for proficient assistance anyway. Maddened by the evident closeness among Steve and Marjorie chose to hit back furiously. She took to Instagram and posted a few recordings of herself working out with her studly youthful fitness coach, sending an unmistakable message to Steve on the planet that she's not one to be fooled with the shot as these wellness recordings displayed Marjorie's assurance to keep up with her own physical and close to home prosperity in the midst of the supposed unrest in her marriage. Soon Steve whisked Marjorie away on a no-cost saved excursion in Europe, apparently with an end goal to patch the fracture and rescue their relationship, not to fail to remember that already Mary, his subsequent wife, has conveyed an amazing, unceremoniously pass-up, hitting him with a stunning $60 million claims in her case. She blames Steve for harassing her out of a critical piece of their abundance during their separation procedures. And it appears to be that Mary isn't the only one looking for lawful response against Steve Terry Smith, a tragically missing affection, who additionally cases to have had a 9-year relationship with.